this guy Endrick is not serious, man. So he's going on honeymoon. He just got injured, and he is trying to recover as fast as possible. Trying to convince Xavi Alonso that he is wrong about him because Real Madrid came out, right? And they basically said, yeah, we want to let Endrick go on loan. Like, that's what they want, which makes 100% sense because Real Madrid have a lot of depth going forward. Endrick, he's really been promised, that he was going to be the next Pele. Instead, we've got short version of Richarlison over here for Real Madrid. So, you've got Gonzalo Garcia coming up on the ranks, which is homegrown Real Madrid, looking like the next Raul in the Club World Cup. Meanwhile, Endrick can't even stay healthy, and when he doesn't really get an opportunity because they prefer a number of other options at striker. They rather see Mbappe, Vini, Rodrigo, Bellingham, and now Garcia. So really, there's no space for Endrick at the club. He's going on honeymoon. He's injured. He's doing anything he can because he doesn't want to be sent on loan from Real Madrid, which doesn't make sense on both him, and then it wouldn't make sense for Real Madrid not to do it because, sending him on loan gives him a lot more opportunity to be able to grow. He's 18 years of age, and, he hasn't really developed well because he doesn't get much minutes. Look at the minutes that Endrick's been getting. 22 matches, 1 goal, 1 assist, but only 352 minutes. You know why it's so low, the minutes? Because he's coming in as a sub for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, max 20 minutes. So there's not really a chance for him to do much when he's coming on the game. The Madrid's winning 3-0, 4-0. He's coming in 10, 15 minutes just doing cardio. Maybe he'll get a cheeky little goal. The most minutes he's gotten is really from 6 matches in the Copa del Rey because he gets to start those matches. And he's gotten 5 goals in 6 matches, but it's the Copa del Rey. Many teams do use that time to use younger players, give opportunity to bench players, rest the starters. That is something, that's why Endrick's getting his opportunity. So, in reality, Endrick should want to go on loan because, for one, a manager's came in and doesn't want you, not convinced with you. He doesn't even want Rodrigo. What makes him think that he wants you? And look at the Real Madrid depth. At left wing, you got Vini, Rodrigo, and Mbappe, right? Striker, Mbappe and Garcia, then Endrick. Right wing, they just got the lad from River Plate. They have Brahim Diaz. Also, Arda Güler can't play on the wings as well, which Xavi Alonso loves that kid. So, let's put Arda Güler above Endrick here. So, and you could even put Bellingham at striker because they could play him as center forward like they have with Ancelotti. So, Endrick really just fallen out of the team because you know how Rodrigo got that meeting with Xavi Alonso and Florentino Perez about his future. Endrick is about to get that Jamal Adams treatment where he's going to come in, put in the little code to get his car in the park for Real Madrid, at their training facilities, and it's going to be wrong code. It's going to be like, hey, did you guys change the code? Yeah, did you not check Twitter? Wait, what happened on Twitter? Oh, you've been sent on loan to West Ham. You've been sent on loan to Sociedad. You've been sent on loan to Newcastle. Something like that's going to happen with this guy. He's not even going to get a meeting, nothing, maybe a call. But he's not going to get that face-to-face that Rodrigo's gotten because Endrick came in. They paid a significant amount of money for this teenager that everyone said, oh, he's the next best thing. He's the next Pele, the next Neymar. He's going to be the face of Brazil. And it's really Richarlison. The next Richarlison, but shorter. At least Richarlison was a threat in the box that you could put in the last 10, 15 minutes and try to get a header or something. No, this guy, you can't even do that. He's very small for a striker. He's not even 6 foot. He's low, way shorter than that. So to me, it's a joke that he doesn't want to go on loan because you got to kind of figure yourself out in Europe. This isn't Brazil. In Brazil, you can get away with anything with your size because you're going to have a better quality. But then you go to, Europe and it's a very different thing. Talent isn't enough in Europe. You also need to have hard work, figure out your way of using the best of your abilities, to get around defenders. Maybe you're not going to be able to score headers, one way, but you'll be able to score in a different way. In a sense, you got to figure out the game. So Endrick, being shorter, he's not a threat in the box. Endrick being shorter is getting out muscled. So for him to figure out a way to get around those obstacles, he needs to have playing time. And by not having playing time and just watching at Real Madrid isn't going to do anything for this 18-year-old. He needs PT. And you're not playing over Mbappe. You're not playing over Vinicius. You're not playing over, the lad they just got from River Plate. They're not playing him over Brahim Diaz. They're not going to be playing him over Arda Güler. Gonzalo Garcia has won Xabi Alonso over. Not even Rodrigo, who they don't even want at the club, you're going to be playing over. So Endrick really needs to look in the mirror, look at his career. And honestly, the best thing that can happen to him, in my opinion, is if Isak ends up leaving, you get a loan to Newcastle. Newcastle have lost 2 strikers if Isak leaves. Perfect opportunity. Champions League football as well. If not, you think the Premier League is going to be too difficult? You don't want to play against those big defenders? You don't want to get tackled like that? You don't want to overcome that? I would check, the German league. Sesko leaves. Loan to RB Leipzig as well. Competitive football. Going to be with Jurgen Klopp, who has a significant role over there. Genuinely, this man Endrick, the best thing you can do is leave Madrid on a loan. You can come back to Madrid. Brahim Diaz, perfect example. He was at Milan. He was at other places. Ends up back at Madrid and now has a significant role. Just because you're on loan from Madrid doesn't mean your career's over with Madrid. So Endrick, telling you, loan is the best option. But anyways, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. What would you do if you were Endrick? Stay at Madrid or would you try to get a loan? But anyways, thank you guys for watching.